All right, welcome back, everyone. Ready for another deep dive.
Always ready.
So, NVIDIA had some pretty big announcements at CES this year. Everyone's talking about it.
Yeah, NVIDIA's CEO Jensen Huang pretty much declared that the age of physical AI is here.
And we're going to break down exactly what that means. We're looking at a few different sources today. Got NVIDIA's press releases, some articles from tech journals, and also this super interesting article by Hijeni Signing Kasango about the legal and ethical side of all this, which we'll get to a bit later. But first...
Yeah, let's break down what physical AI even means, because I think there's still a lot of confusion out there. People hear AI and they think, chat bots or those things that write weird poems.
Right, exactly. But this is different. We're talking about AI that can, actually move and interact with the physical world, like robots, self-driving cars, stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's a huge GE shift. I mean, up until now, AI has been mostly about, understanding and processing information, recognizing images, translating languages.
Right, right. But like Huang was saying in his keynote, AI has kind of progressed through these stages, right? First, it was all about perception, like you said, just understanding what it was seeing or hearing. Then it moved into generation, where AI started creating stuff like writing text or composing music.
Exactly. And now it's like this whole new frontier AI that can take action, make decisions, solve problems in the real world, not just the digital one.
So how does all of this actually work?
Well, that's what's so interesting about NVIDIA's announcements. They're really tackling it from all angles. The hardware, the platform, the actual real-world applications. Take their NVIDIA Cosmos platform, for example.
Yeah, what a S that, exactly.
So Cosmos is imagine if you were trying to build a robot. You'd need to figure out all sorts of crazy complicated stuff, right? How to make it see and understand its environment, how to plan its movements, avoid obstacles, actually perform tasks.
And this is what Cosmos does.
Yeah. Cosmos is this massive toolbox filled with software tools, pre-trained AI models, all kinds of stuff that developers can use to build these really complex AI systems, whether it's for robots or self-driving cars or any kind of, vision-based AI. It's basically providing the framework to make this stuff possible.
Okay, so Cosmos is the brains of the operation.
In a way, yeah.
But what about the brawn?
Well, that's where those shiny new GeForce RTX 50 series GPUs come in.
I was going to ask about those. I mean, they're marketed as the ultimate gaming graphics cards, but they're also powering all this physical AI stuff. It seems like overkill.
No, not at all. It actually makes total sense when you think about it. So to train physical AI effectively, you need to create these super realistic simulations. Think of it
It's like a video game for robots.
Exactly. Like a hyper-realistic video game where the AI can learn to interact with objects, navigate different environments, even understand how humans might behave, all within this safe virtual space, before they're let loose in the real world.
Right.
And the RTX 50 series, with its crazy processing power, it makes these kinds of simulations possible. The level of detail they can achieve now is unbelievable.
Okay, that's pretty amazing. But isn't all of this super advanced tech usually only accessible to huge companies or research labs with tons of resources?
Well, that's where NVIDIA's Project Digits comes in.
Oh, right. I read a little bit about this.
Yeah, and this is what gets me really excited. It's basically this tiny pocket-sized developer kit, right?
Right.
But it packs the power of NVIDIA's Grace Hopper superchip, which is insane.
Wow.
And the idea is to make this cutting-edge technology accessible to, individual developers, small startups, anyone who wants to experiment and innovate with physical AI. And I think that has the potential to be truly revolutionary, putting these tools in the hands of more people.
That's a good point. More people tinkering, more breakthroughs faster.
Exactly.
But, we keep talking about robots and self-driving cars. It still feels a bit, futuristic. Are there any real-world examples of this tech being used right now today?
Oh, yeah, tons. For example, NVIDIA is partnering with Toyota.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're working together to integrate NVIDIA's Drive AGX computer and Drive OS software into Toyota's next generation of vehicles. And this is not just about, fancy in-car entertainment or something.
Okay.
This is laying the foundation for, more advanced driver assistance features and eventually fully autonomous vehicles. This stuff is actively being developed and tested as we speak.
That's kind of wild. I feel like a lot of people just aren't aware of how quickly this tech is advancing.
Yeah, I think it's moving faster than most people realize.
So with all of this in mind, all these different pieces, what's the big takeaway for our listeners here?
Well, I think the main takeaway is, like we said at the beginning, the era of physical AI is here. Like, it's not some far-off sci-fi concept anymore. It's happening now. And these NVIDIA announcements, they're like a glimpse into that future, where AI isn't just something we interact with on screens, but something that's all around us, shaping our world in profound ways.
I mean, it's exciting, obviously, but it's also, like, a lot to wrap your head around. And it makes me think about that article we mentioned earlier, the one by Hijini Simon Kasango. Remember how he talked about all the legal and ethical questions surrounding AI, especially as it becomes more powerful and autonomous?
Yeah, he brings up some really important points.
Like, who's responsible when an AI messes up? I mean, if a self-driving car crashes, who's to blame? The AI, the developer, the person who owns the car.
Right, and how do we ensure that this technology is used ethically? I mean, there's so much potential for good, but also potential for harm.
Yeah, exactly. Like, how do we prevent it from being used for, like, harmful purposes?
Exactly. So, while NVIDIA's announcements are definitely exciting, it's on all of us to really pay attention to how this technology develops and to have those tough conversations about the implications. Because it's moving fast and we need to be prepared.
I completely agree. All right, well, that's about all the time we have for today's deep dive.
Whoa, already. Feels like we just got started.
I know, right? There's always so much to unpack with this stuff. But hopefully, we've given you all some good food for thought.
Yeah, definitely.
So, what do you all think? What excites you the most about the possibilities of physical AI? What are you concerned about? Let us know in the comments. Keep learning, keep questioning, and we'll see you in the next deep dive.
See you then.